So welcome to 1.5. So we've been looking at rulers, which are one kind of number line, but we're going to look at a variety of number lines and place fractions on them. So before we do that, we have to make sure we can convert or change an improper fraction to a mixed number, right? So 2 halves is 1, so 3 halves is 1 half. 5 halves, right? 4 halves is 2, so 5 halves is 2 1/2. 7 halves, well, 6 halves is 3, so 7 halves is 3 and 1 extra half. So what are the missing numbers on this number line? So notice there's one little mark or tick mark between each one, and it's in the middle. It's halfway. So in between 1 and 2 is 1 1/2. And it says write it as both a mixed number and improper fraction, so it's also 3 halves. So in the middle of 2 and 3 is 2 1/2, but we just said that's the same as 5 halves. And halfway between 3 and 4 is 3 1/2, which is the same as 7 halves. So we're going to do this for a bunch of different denominators and create the number lines. So here's a number line with tenths on it. Now when we make a number line with tenths, you're going to find you have a 0, obviously, and then you have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10 should be right in the middle, right? Because 5/10 is halfway. 5/10 is 1/2. Then 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and 10/10 will make 1. So there are 9 little marks between each whole number, between 0 and 1, that are 9 evenly spaced marks for tenths. And we'll see that in a second. So you're going to make a number line with tenths here. So the first one is 1/10. So where would 5/10 go? Well, it's a matter of counting. 2, 3, 4, 5/10. Now it should be halfway. Then 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10 should go right there. Those are proper fractions. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. Now here's some improper fractions. Where does 10/10 go? Well, 10/10 goes in the same spot as 1, right? And 13/10 goes where 1 and 3 extra tenths would go. So 1, 2, it's 1 and 3/10, but we're going to put 13/10. I want you to write 13/10. So we're very clear that 13/10 and 1 and 3/10 go in the same location on a number line. 20/10 goes where? Well, 20 divided by 10 is 2, so 20/10 is 2 right there. 25/10, well, is 2 and 5/10, so that would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5/10 is 1/2, so 25/10 goes the same exact location as 2 and 5/10, same as 2 and 1/2. Right, so that's tenths. 9 little marks, 10/10 is 1 whole. Okay, so what number is the green one there? Well, the green one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1 and 5/10. It says, though, in simplified form, so it's also 1 and 1/2. And what improper fraction would that be? Well, that would also be 15/10, right? 10/10 is 1. 15/10, so it would also be, right? It'd also be 3 halves, not 3 1/2, 3 halves, right? Because 15/10 simplifies to 3 halves. 3 halves is the improper fraction of 1 and 1/2. All right, so let's look at the blue one. All of those were equivalent. So the blue one, let's see that. All right, well, we can see it's 2 and 2/10. But we would never leave it that way. We would simplify to 2 and 1/5. What improper fraction is it? Well, right, 10 times 2 is 20, plus 2, it's 22/10. It's also 11/5. All of those. It's all of those. So let's make sure we understand. You do all this work. You learned all this in elementary school, right? But let's understand. All of those go in the same exact location on a number line. They are all equal. We want to write our answers as simplified, either simplified improper fractions like 11/5 or simplified mixed numbers like 2 and 1/5, but all those are equivalent. So we're going to do the red one last. So let's see what that is. So 3 and 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, so that's 3 and 6/10. which is the same as what? 3 3/5. What improper fraction would it be? Well, 3 times 10 is 30, plus 6, it's 36/10. Right? And but that's not simplified. You'd have to divide top and bottom by 2, and it is 18/5. Now you could have gotten 18/5, not 18/15. 18/5, right? You could have gotten it from here. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3, 18/5. It is all of those. So 3 6/10 is the same as 3 3/5, which is the same as 18/5, which is the same as 36/10. Those are all equivalent. All right, so that was with 10. So now it says divide the number line into 6. All right, so to make 6, we're going to need 5 evenly spaced marks. The 6th one makes one whole. So let's try to do that. So 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, right? 3 6 should be halfway, right? Because it's 1/2. 4 6, 5 6, 6 6. So now we're going to repeat that. That's from between 0 and 1. So we're going to try to do that exactly the same, where 3 6 is in the middle, right? So 5 evenly placed marks where we have one hopefully right in the middle. All right, so those are our marks to make a number line into 6. So to make 6, 5 marks make it so that the whole number becomes the 6th mark. All right, so I put 3 6 on there. 5 6 goes there, and 3 6 should be simplified to 1/2 because it's should be halfway between 0 and 1. So 7 6 is 1/6 past there. It's also 1 1/6. 14 6, well, 12 6 is 2. So this is 2 2 6, goes right there, which is also, right, 2 1/3. That's where 14 6 would go, which is also 7/3. Right, all of those go in the same location. 18 6, that's 3, so that should go right there. And 24 6, that's just 4. That goes there. Okay, so that's how what a number line with 6 looks like. Right, tenths, 9 little marks. 6, 5 little marks. Subtract 1. Okay, so this isn't 6. It says it right there, but I truthfully don't have to tell you that because you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks in between. That means it's 6. So that means this is 1. Or let's do it in blue since it's blue. And so it's 1 2 6 there, which is 1 1/3. Okay. What's that one? Well, that's obviously, hopefully, the whole number 2. All right. And the next one is 3 1/6, and that's simplified, so it's fine and dandy. And it's okay. So now we're going into fourths. All right. So if we made tenths, we made 9 marks. Sixths, we made 5 marks. Fourths, we make 3 marks. So 1 2 3. All right. So this is 1/4. This is 2/4. 2/4 is a half, so that mark should be in the middle. I wasn't that perfect. I put a little more over there. This is 3/4, and that's 4/4. Okay, so put 2/4 on there. I already did that halfway, and so we should simplify that to half. 5/4, right? So we're gonna. Oh, I forgot to repeat the marks, so we have to do the same thing in each section. Right, we're trying to make equally spaced. I wasn't perfect here. I think I made this one a little too soon. Okay, so 5/4 is 1/4 past 1, so 1 1/4. 11/4, right? Well, 8/4 is 2. 8/4 is 2, and then we're 3 past that. So 8 11/4 goes here, which is the same as 2 3/4, right? That's 2 3/4. 14/4, well, 12/4 is 3. So this is 3 and 2 extra fourths. So that would go here, 3 2/4, which is also 14/4, but we don't like leaving things unsimplified. 3 2/4 simplifies to 3 1/2. 14/4 simplifies to 7/2. Yes, right? 7/2 is the improper fraction version of 3 1/2. So fourths, you're making 3 little marks in between. Oh, 16/4. I didn't realize that one was there. 16/4 makes 4. So what is this in? It doesn't say, but there's 3 marks in between. This must be 1/4, right? If there are 3 evenly spaced marks there, that has to be 1/4, and then this one must be 3/4. What is that one? Well, that one must be then 2 1/4, right? Which is also 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1. It's also 9. I'll put that up here like I've been doing, 9/4. All right, so let's practice. There's 1/10. So what's that thing? Well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8/10. But we don't leave it that way. It's also 4/5, right? Simplify your fractions. What's the green one? The green one, 1 and 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. That's 1 5/10, which simplifies to 1 1/2. It is also 15/10. It is also 3/2. 1 1/2 is always equal to 3/2. That is 3 2/10. We never leave it that way. We'd make it 3 1/5. It is also 10 times 3 is 30 plus 2, 32/10. And it is also 3 times 5, 15 plus 1. It's also 16/5. It's all of those things. All right, so we're in 6 now. The blue one here, 2, 6, 3 is 4/6, which we would simplify to 2/3. The red one is 1, we're in 6, so 1 3/6, which is 1 1/2. As an improper fraction, it would be 9/6, or 3/2 again. The green one is 3 2/6, which is 3 1/3, which is also 10/3, right? 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10/3, and you could also make it the 18, 20, like it's also 26. But we really want the simplified versions. Final question. So these must be in fourths, right? Because there's 3 little marks here. So this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So way over here is 3 2/4, halfway between 3 1/2, also known as 7/2. Good luck with the homework.